As a child, I was a huge fan of superheroes. And who wasn't? I wanted to have superpowers like Superman, Batman, or Wonder Woman. Now, don't judge me. I would even go as far as to create my own superheroes. And one of my favorite was Invisible-Man. Because as a child, I wanted to have the power of being invisible. But as an adult, none of us want to feel invisible. Mr. Contest Chair and my visible online friends, have you ever been made to feel invisible? Growing up, my parents raised us with the golden rule to love thy neighbor as thyself. And they gave us a plaque, and it simply said this: the true person is rarely reflected in skin color. Perhaps we shall be the teachers when it is done out of the depths of pain. We were taught to be the sole heritage in this world. And oh, we know about love. And that is why I say to you that though it be a thrilling and marvelous thing to be simply young and gifted, in such times as this, it is doubly so, doubly dynamic to be young, gifted, and Black. Now, my parents gave us this so that we understood our true value and worth as a human being, and to never let anyone make you feel like you didn't exist. But as I grew older, I realized that I would be tested with that same theory. As I was heading to the hospital one day to visit a friend of mine, in the corner of my eye, I could see a man sitting on the cold concrete. The man was old, frail, salt and pepper beard, eyes that had looked like he had seen many years of pain, but the politeness of one who had grown up with manners. As I approached him, he turned to me and he said, "Excuse me, sir, but if you don't mind, can you please spare me some change? I'd truly appreciate it." I scurried right past the man as if I didn't see him. It was hours later when I came down, and who do you think I saw sitting there? That's right, that same old man. And when he saw me, he looked up at me and he said with a smile on his face, "You missed me, didn't you?" And I laughed. And I looked down at him and I said, "Sir, what is your name?" "Blake." "Blake, I'm not gonna give you money right now, but what I can do is take you across the street to the diner and get you some food." And that old man jumped up like a 22-year-old. And as we went across the street and I went inside to order the food, I could see Blake's hands pressed up against the glass, his eyes bright, smile as he looked at everyone inside. And as I continued to order the food and talk to the waitress, I constantly glanced back to see if Blake was okay. But in Blake's eyes, what he saw was something completely different. And that same bright smile and hands up on the window suddenly came down and a frown came upon his face. Because Blake thought I was complaining or possibly calling the police. And without notice, Blake disappeared. When I came out with the 2 bags in hand, the first thing I thought of when I looked around and I didn't see him was, damn it, I just bought breakfast for him. And then my second thought was, how many times was he made to feel this way? See, ladies and gentlemen, in that moment, I made a man feel invisible. Like everyone else who had come before me, who had overstepped him and undervalued his humanity. And I've often asked myself, was I any different? Many years ago, my parents taught me the golden rule, and yet here I was prejudging and predisposing this man simply because he didn't look like me, act like me, or dress like me. Or maybe it was because I was too busy. When have you been just too busy? Maybe it's that coworker or that friend, or maybe it's actually that loved one who just wanted to hear those three magical words, I love you, but you were just too busy. I've often gone back to that same spot, but Blake is no longer there. Instead, someone else has taken over the residency of his spot. And I've often wondered, what made him make his residence on that 4x6 slab of concrete? I mean, what was his dreams? What was his desires? What was his aspirations? What was his pains, his sorrows, and his frustrations? Blake taught me a valuable lesson that day. That what my parents had taught me many years ago about valuing humanity and its worth stands true to today. We have seen many incidences where humanity has failed in visibly seeing each other. And we are facing one right now. We can all become superheroes. And instead of being proud to be invisible, why don't we be superheroes that bring love and change our mindsets from being invisible, like Blake and many others in this world, into visible. And when we do that, we show that this beautiful mural of majestic magnificence that we call home can now become invincible. Contest chair.